Welcome to the Gamer Dad podcast, where we talk about all things Magic the Gathering. We strive to make things fun, fit it into our busy lives and families, and keep things casual. And we show you how you can too. I'm Gamer Dad Bob, a nearly 30-year Magic veteran who has played formats from Legacy to Standard to Commander, and I will show you my jank. I'm an IT manager, father of one very active 4-year-old, and I'm hoping someday to teach him how to sling spells. With me is Jesse Hoagie.
Hi, I'm Jesse Hoagie, and I don't like control players.
I feel so seen, maybe even offended. I don't know, but I like it. So this episode I'm calling Universes Beyond Universes, where we're going to be talking a lot about Universes Beyond and where we are in Magic the Gathering, the current climate, how we feel about things, and a little bit about that immersion that I feel we're losing with, or dilution, if you will, with everything that's being printed right now. So diving in, talking about Universes Beyond, there are currently 19 Universes Beyond sets in production as of this recording. That is totaling roughly 1,100 unique Magic the Gathering non-token cards. That is an insane amount, considering these sets only started dropping in 2020, 2021. So we hadn't seen these. These didn't really exist. I think they started with the Walking Dead or Stranger Things cards. I seem to remember like Rick Grimes and God, I didn't watch Walking Dead. Help me out here, Jesse.
It was Walking Dead first, like Rick Grimes, Michonne, those type, like the main characters.
Right, and they had unique abilities on these cards, right? Never seen before kind of functionality. They were chase rare cards. They were Secret Lair, weren't they? So
Secret Lair.
Yeah, they were extra hard to get a hold of. And I remember the chatter at the time was like, are we expected to buy these now to keep up with the Commander arms race? As Commander was really starting to really take root during the pandemic. With 1,100 unique cards today, everything is out there. Everything is fair game. And when I say unique, these are not like reprints. This is not like Cultivate, Rampant Growth in the Fallout decks. These are unique Magic cards. I got that from a Magic wiki, so I'm not just pulling that out of my behind. In addition to all this, there are all kinds of reprints with these, with chase arts and everything that people want to see. So, don't like your Rampant Growth with the wave? Go get the Fallout one with the Nuka-Cola billboard that's covered up, So I want to have a little bit of a back and forth dialogue with me and Jesse in this episode. So Jesse, how are you feeling about just this very first topic about 19 sets just absolutely jammed at us in the last 4 years?
I feel like somebody is trying to steal my wallet. Because that's all it is one giant money grab.
Now, we touched on that last episode, right? Talking about the different intellectual properties, IPs that Wizards is buying the rights to. So you're feeling like this is purely a cash grab and we're deliberately printing these unique cards as chase cards for Commander players that we're just not seeing anywhere else.
Well, the thing that's really obvious to that is a lot of these IPs, they only have it licensed for that set. Like Lord of the Rings. You're telling me they're going to pay for more licensing for more Lord of the Rings sets?
Not likely.
Or Warhammer. Like those things are not going to go down in price. The One Ring is not going to go down in price.
It keeps going up. I saw today, as I was looking through building a deck, it's about $115 now each.
Yeah, and then
that's just for the regular.
Yeah, that's not like the chase ones that are like those special billboard, whatever they call them, that have different art on them.
Yep.
And then you have the Secret Lair. They went and changed how you acquire Secret Lairs.
Limited print.
Before it used to be print on demand. Now it's limited print. So you have the fear of missing out, and it makes people like me or you wait in line like the last one because I had Prosh. I had to get my Prosh.
That's right.
It's purely a cash grab. I don't think it adds anything to the game whatsoever. other than a special. Oh, look, I have this special thing that I happen to get. I don't think it adds a single thing to the universe at all.
Now, I think we all talk about this, and I hope you'd agree with me. You know, building your decks is partially an expression of who you are, right? So these alternate arts definitely can help there at a premium cost to people. And you talked about that FOMO as well with these releases, these secret lair releases. I bought up the Assassin's Creed stuff. I said last time that we're an Assassin's Creed household. I did really well on my boxes, by the way. So spending money on the secret lair to kind of round things out and have every single card that Wizards gave us from Assassin's Creed was a goal of mine. So we'll have that with that secret lair set until the next one.
Final Fantasy for you.
Yeah.
I kind of regret not getting into more Fallout because I'm a huge Fallout guy.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing those collector boxes, I could have got them for $220. Now they're over $600.
They're still going up, aren't they?
Yeah, because they're limited. They're not going to have any more of them.
Now, interesting on this, right? We don't know as consumers when all of the serialized cards have been found.
Correct.
And we never will.
Unless you can somehow prove and count 1 through 500 that somebody has it.
Yep. So that's going to continue people driving out to buy these boxes, and you know, you're wondering why they're so damn expensive. Like we got, so let me talk a little bit about MagicCon Amsterdam while I was there, along the lines of this. So we got $50 worth of vouchers for the prize wall, which you get tickets worth of stuff if you're playing competitive events the whole time. To me, that defeats the purpose of going to a MagicCon to just jam competitive events the whole time and get stuff off the prize wall. And these are events that cost money to enter to begin with. So me and my buddy went over the prize wall with our $50 worth of vouchers, and they're 500 tickets each or 5,000 tickets each or something. It's some arbitrary number, right? And I got $50 worth of packs as far as how they priced them. I got one collector's booster pack of Lord of the Rings and 2 regular packs of Modern Horizons 3 for that. And it was insulting.
I think those collector boosters of Lord of the Rings are $50 on their own almost.
And it felt so bad. Are you checking?
Yeah, I think it's at least 35, probably more. So a collector booster box. Oh boy, $700.
Yeah, that tracks.
That is on Amazon. So that is nothing really to. So one on TCG Player, on the other hand, is $540. That's for the box.
Right.
That is not the actual booster.
So divide that by 20. It's 24 packs in those boxes, or 30 packs in those boxes, or 12. I can't keep up. They keep changing the number of packs in the collector booster boxes.
Yeah, there's 15
cards.
15 cards in each.
Okay.
Each thing, and there's 12 packs.
So you take 500 divided by 12, and that's how much a pack costs. So maybe we did get a deal on it, right? But it felt...
TCG Player are selling individual packs for $48.25.
It felt bad. It really... Here's your one pack. God. You know, and people, I mean this when I say this, people were jamming games so much in the competitive section. Those tables were always full. The line for the prize wall was always just out to the back, you know, out to the crowd. People really went to this con to play competitively and win those tickets so they could get those prize cards, packs, the really large cards that you see people with on Twitter, stuff like that.
I'd love to get one of those, man.
Good luck, because they were like 30,000 tickets. It was something insane like that, and that was for like a small one, maybe the size of an 8x11 piece of paper. So. Yeah, this is partially what Universes Beyond is doing to us here. It's weird. I think that's what's going to be a continued topic for me here. Is it just feels so weird. So, segueing off of this, there are 2 major intellectual properties coming in 2025 in Final Fantasy and Marvel, and I honestly think that Marvel is a bigger IP at this point than Final Fantasy. I
Hands
just
down, not even a question.
I don't think it is a question, and I know there is a rabid Final Fantasy fan base. They're just
Marvel
as toxic as Marvel.
will be the biggest universes beyond, even bigger than Lord of the Rings.
I think you're right. And am I into that? Yeah. Will I buy singles? Yeah. Final Fantasy has been a huge part of my life, my entire life, and so has Marvel, but not that much.
Yeah. If there's like Wolverine, because Wolverine is my guy. If there's Wolverine cards, I will buy every single one of them. I don't think I'll buy anything else. We'll have to see what the commander boxes look like, or commander decks, I should say.
Right. I mean, one of my good friends, he loves Wolverine so much that he named his second child Logan. Right.
I told my wife if we had a boy, it would be Logan, and she'd have no choice. And we had 2 girls. So.
But these are major intellectual properties, major IPs here that are going to be just chase sets across the board. People are going to be buying so much product. It'll be really interesting to see WotC's numbers at the end of 2025 with just these 2 products alone. And it makes me wonder the quality of the other sets coming out because of these, because they have to get these right. And we're looking at this year's sets with Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Murders at Karlov Manor, and just how lazy the design felt on these sets, like they were just mass produced Xerox cards and just slammed out. And this is the October set. This is not October. This is the January set. This is the April set. This is the June set. We have Bloomborough on the horizon with the cutesy critters and everything coming up. What's the level of effort on that? Looking at spoilers from this set, I'm not blown away by it. I'm going to have a little bit more to say about that later. So with these 2 major IPs coming out, what are we doing here? What are we doing? I've already told you, and I'll say it again on this one. Probably going to buy like a collector booster case or 2 of Final Fantasy. It is what it is here, because that's who I am. And a lot of people are going to be like that. Cards completely sight unseen. As soon as they're available for pre-order, I will be getting them. It's probably going to be around Christmas time. I'm going to be so upset because I'll have spent so much money on my child. I won't have anything for myself, but here we are. I'll just take out a small loan or something. A home equity line of credit for Final Fantasy. That sounds good, right?
And you won't pull a single serialized card.
Right. I won't get anything I want, and that's what they want out of you. They don't care. It's a lottery ticket, right? Jesse, you just mentioned that you're not clearly you've never been into Final Fantasy. You and I have never really talked shop on Final Fantasy. I don't think you've played through any of the games.
Either 1, 2, or 3 on the original Game Boy when I was a kid. I loved. Other than that, nothing. Right.
So as a non-Final Fantasy fan, you're just going to be looking for singles that will help improve your commander decks or other decks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, this will go really well in Prosh. And you just said for Marvel, you're like, well, Wolverine, that's my dude. So I will be finding singles of him. And I'm sure we'll find other cards that we really like, outside of the mutants. Like I said last podcast, I'm really interested in what Silver Surfer looks like, what Thanos would look like.
If I might do all of X-Men, because X-Men was a very big part of my childhood growing up. Like
mine too. That animated series that was on Fox all those years was just so good.
And I mean, I'm rabid for X-Men 97. Like that was such an amazing series.
I don't know how I got ahead of you on that. That's a rare feat that I've been able to binge a show or watch a show ahead of Jesse. But I agree. I think that was really well done. And if Disney is smart, they're going to work with Wizards on that, right? They're going to release some shows or anything right around the same time, really drive that demand up.
I'll guarantee they wait to release season 2 of 97 until the MTG set comes out. I mean, they did it with Fallout. It was a month after Fallout.
Yep.
So they're going to time them.
Yeah, it's a bummer they whiffed on Baldur's Gate with Baldur's Gate 3. And I think that was because the game got delayed due to the pandemic. Because originally it was going to coincide with the release there. So yeah, it's all about marketing. Kudos to the marketing teams; they're doing an excellent job. You know, your people who are buying the licensing up are doing an excellent job with these, and these are two of the smartest IPs to release, especially in a down year where Wizards of the Coast is not doing well in anything other than Magic the Gathering. I mean, Magic is carrying them right now, as far as I recall.
I think it was over 50% of their earnings, I think, was Magic.
So good for you. Good for Wizards. They're doing what they need to. So going back to the Secret Lair releases, these things are a complete wild card for us.
So just to follow up, Q2 2023, this is what first comes up. Total gaming for Hasbro was 87.7, I think that's million.
It's got to be.
Of that, Magic was 540.
Oh.
Million. So that's way more than half.
Well. Well, there we go.
That was 2023.
Yeah, I think they did release Q1 and Q2 numbers this year. You probably have to really dig around the internet to find them.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that Peppa Pig is part of Hasbro too.
Jeez. Are we going to see a Peppa Pig card?
I was just going to say, we're going to see Peppa Pig Magic set.
That'll be a Secret Lair.
I will not. I'll not be surprised.
I mean, we got My Little Pony, so it's not out of the question, you know? So these Secret Lair releases are, in my mind, they're a wild card because they are quote unquote secret. We don't know what the cards are going to be until they release them. You know, they teased like something in an elevator this week and then other
they did.
Weird
I saw it
stuff.
today. I saw it today. I think they showed all of them today. And it was, in my opinion, the worst one I have ever seen.
Perfect. People are going to love it.
Like,
you know why?
The art just does not do it for me. I thought it looks terrible.
If it's like weird abstract art or something, I think that's what I saw too, right? It's kind of, and the fonts are jacked up too, aren't they?
Yep. Brain dead is what they're calling it.
Yeah.
Inside an elevator super drop.
I don't get it. Art is art though, right? So as far as WotC is concerned,
like there's little skull clamp is literally a tattoo on someone's arm.
So that's going to go into a different bullet point I have. So let's put a pin in that because that's actually a really good example for a later bullet point I have. That's terrible.
I wish I was kidding.
That's terrible. At what point? All right, we're moving into this right now. Because this is a perfect segue into this bullet point, right? And how does this dilute your experience playing Magic the Gathering, right? So Skull Clamp originally printed in Mirrodin. You know what I mean? Like a clamp on someone's skull, this mystical clamp. It makes them stronger, but you know, if they die, it's not great, right? So you're going to draw some cards. The flavor behind that was good. How does this helmet apparatus translate into a tattoo on your arm? How does that?
It's a tattoo of a head, like a person with something on it, but that's tattooed on someone's arm.
That doesn't make any sense for me, right? Like if you look at the original and subsequent Skull Clamp artworks, it's a helmet of some kind. It's a headpiece. It's headgear. It's some kind of a head apparatus. Where does the flavor come from with a tattoo? I lose the experience there.
Yeah, so two of them. I think one of them is a leg. Lightning Greaves the original Lightning Greaves are tattooed on someone's leg. And Skull Clamp is, I don't think that's the original Skull Clamp art. It doesn't look like it to me, but that's tattooed on someone's arm.
You should send me the link in Discord so I can see what you're looking at here. Yeah. But that to me is weird, right? So what's the equip cost? Tattooing it onto the creature? Like what are we looking at? These look like actual tattoos that people got.
It's possible.
That's not the original Skull Clamp artwork. That looks like one of the freaking aliens, one of the xenomorph things. It's just on the back of the head instead. What the hell is that Sol Ring? What is that even? I
don't know. I know it's some artist, a Los Angeles-based creative collective, Brain Dead. So I'm not bashing them. It's just not it for me.
Yeah.
And if you go by Reddit, it's not it for a lot of people.
And it will be it for some other people. Mm-hmm. That's the other thing that I want to, point out, that art is super subjective. Jesse and I talk about that all the time when it comes to music. I like some music that he doesn't, and he likes music that I don't. And there's nothing wrong with that. Art is subjective too. This stuff is just not for me. I don't feel like even putting this in my decks. I lose the immersion, right? I'm looking at the lightning greaves. It's a literal tattoo. It's a picture of a tattoo. What are we doing? Are we tattooing creatures? Does that give them haste and shroud? A tattoo? No, these magical boots do that. Just like the skull clamp tattoo. This is a magical head apparatus. We're losing the flavor of the game. We're losing the flavor. It's killing me with the immersion.
Like some of these comments on Reddit, another entry in the "We Made It Ugly on Purpose" series of secret layer drops.
I don't understand it. But for me, someone who really enjoys the story, who enjoys the immersion, of being a wizard, of playing this game where you get to escape for an hour or so, or however long the matches go. What are we doing? What am I doing?
I mean, a good example of what this is creating is, and we were just talking about this earlier, the Rick Grimes card.
Right.
From original Walking Dead Secret Lair is they reprinted it as something in universe because they don't have the IP anymore.
Right.
So are they going to do that, say, with the One Ring? Are they going to reprint it as something else with the same stuff, but it's not called the One Ring because they don't have the IP anymore?
They could certainly do a functional reprint or make it more fair. Jesus, that card is it can be game breaking.
Or, I mean, Orcish Bowmasters is not a good example, I don't think, because that's easy to reprint. It's Orcish. Like, there's orcs in...
Yeah, there's Orcish Cannonade, Orcish, the red cards, but, there are Orcish cards from Magic the Gathering from the beginning of time. Those cards have been around forever.
Yeah. What about, like, Saruman? Like, they can't reprint Saruman without a complete different thing. So they're painting themselves in a weird corner, because if you have something super popular that's super exclusive and people are upset they can't get it, what do?
They either keep it super exclusive for the secondary market, and I still do not have a very good understanding of how WotC benefits from the secondary market. You know what I mean? Like, how do they benefit from not assigning an MSRP on these boxes and stuff now?
Then they could just make up stuff.
They can, but the vendors who are buying these, the card stores, the LGSs, they're buying these boxes at whatever WotC gives them for cost. And I sure as hell hope that it's not different per locale.
Guarantee it is.
That's just terrible.
I guarantee, and this is me saying it without any insider knowledge, like I used to, like you were there at Cooper's Cave. We used to know the owner of Cooper's Cave here.
Yep.
We don't anymore. I haven't talked to Mike in a long time. I've had conversations with every card shop here in my area. I haven't talked about pricing anything, but I guarantee if you take a card shop like Flipside Gaming, that is super popular.
Yep.
And super known, and you compare that to Northern Wardens near me, I guarantee Flipside Gaming gets better pricing than Northern Wardens does because Flipside is bigger.
Now, does that have to do with being like a premier seller or anything?
I guarantee it depends on how much they buy, which is directly related to how big it is, and the tournaments they have, the sanctioned tournaments they have there, and the turnout to those tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee it's because all that money feeds back into Wizards.
Yeah, back in the day, we'll put our old man hats on, right? We had a good relationship with the owner of Cooper's Cave, who, as far as I know, was being honest with us when he said that, he was practically giving us our boxes at cost. He said, in general, he doesn't make any money on the Magic the Gathering product. He made money on other things at his game store, figurines, board games, the paintball field that he owned. That's how he was able to sell Magic the Gathering product the way that he did, and keep costs down for us. Now, it did go up when Wizards jacked the prices up for him. I remember we were getting him $90 a box, and he upped it to $100 because he had to. Otherwise, he'd be taking a loss. Now, with no MSRP, I wonder what Wizards is charging. It's got to be it's got to be different per
And
shop.
the fact back then when we were buying them, there was only one box you could buy.
This is also, and that was the equivalent of a draft booster box. I
Yep.
learned.
Yep. And now you have, I mean, they've changed it a bit, but now you have collector boosters. You have
Play boosters.
And incoming value boosters.
God, those are so janky.
When I was watching Alpha Investments the other day, they were talking about value boosters, and he held up a big poster of play boosters saying how things are getting complicated and they want to make it so it's easier for people, and then they come out with value boosters that are the worst possible thing that anybody could buy.
Yeah, I mean, if they're priced right, that would be something funny to get for Alex to open up.
The only way they're going to be priced right is if they're $2 and below.
Right, that's the thing. Like, are they $2.99 each or
We don't know yet.
$1.99 each? And that's going to come down to whatever these shops, Walmart's, Costco's. I got an email today, by the way, speaking of Universes Beyond, that Fallout Commander bundles are available at Costco now, and they're $159.99
for all four.
For all four.
Oh my god.
Email right from Wizards of the Coast. Oh, by the way, our products are in Walmart and stuff too. The hell they are. Walmart doesn't get allocation for these.
Mm-mm.
They get like one box, and they don't care.
I go into my local Target because they carry Magic. Every time I go to the Magic section, and usually it's a smattering of old product. Like Murder of Karlov Matter was there forever. Nobody was buying it. And last time I went, they had almost all of the Outlaws Commander, and they had the Modern Horizons 3 Commander.
It's funny you say that because my local Target, every time I go in, I take a peek. They have no product on the shelves for Magic the Gathering. And I don't know if that's by choice or if because it's just sold out and I'm missing out on some local gamers that I should be hanging out with. You know, I don't know, but there is never Magic product at my Target for me to pick up. I always see if I can, get a steal, if you will, for something that's actually MSRP.
Yeah. So I'm looking at, there's no pricing anywhere for these boosters.
Right.
Nowhere. But you're looking at, man, they're little trash. Like it's coming 3 commons, 2 uncommons, and 1 wild card of any rarity.
You get another common.
And 1 card that may be a land, a traditional foil, or special guest card.
That feels so bad.
So you're looking at 5, 6, 7 cards.
Yep.
Which is how many were in the Assassin's Creed boosters, right? It was 7 cards?
That were 7 cards.
Yep. Which guaranteed a rare.
Yes.
These, you may have 2 rares. You will 95% of the time have no rares.
Yeah, we opened up 3 booster 2 booster boxes. No. 3 booster boxes of Assassin's Creed. Okay. I got almost every single card, at least one of. And by every single card, I mean every treatment of every single card. I was missing 20 total of every treatment imaginable of that set. And I got foils up the wazoo. I have a foil Excalibur. I have a foil Mjolnir.
See, I don't like what they've done with foils. Like, back in my day, foils were a big thing. Like, you have a card, say it's worth $20. The foil would be double that at least.
Yeah.
Now, foils are so printed and so saturated. They're not, some cards, the foils are worth less than the non-foil.
And they're not really tournament legal anymore.
No, because they Pringle.
Badly.
So everything is so diluted and just like everything is just diluted. It feels like
it does feel weird. So, speaking of all these sets, these cards, as I was building my wife's Cassandra deck, I started thinking, and I thought as I was writing some bullet points down for this podcast today, I was like, geez, 1,100 cards. Could I build a commander deck entirely out of Universes Beyond cards at this point? So I did. I have a deck that I will premiere in September that is only Universes Beyond cards. Now, as I built it, I realized that there are going to have to be some stipulations because it was unplayable due to the mana base. There's no good lands in Universes Beyond. There's none. Those Signet lands from Fallout are basically the only good non-basics available. for mana fixing. And I went through that and I said, that's just going to be unplayable. I can put, 8 forests, 7 plains, whatever in the deck. It's 5 color, by the way. Hint, hint. There's only 2 5 color commanders from Universes Beyond. One of them just dropped in Assassin's Creed, and that's not the one I'm playing. So I went through the mana base. I'm like, this is trash. I can't do this. So I'm going to have to lands, dual lands, triomes, things like that to make things better. And then as I got through the deck, I was like, geez, there's no good mana fixing cards that are unique cards. So the other stretch I made with this is that if it was printed as a reprint, but framed with new artwork in Universes Beyond, I could play it in the deck. And I will have that new artwork, right? So cards like 3 Visits, Rampant Growth, Cultivate, the mana fixing that you need was reprinted in Universes Beyond. Most of them in Fallout. 3 Visits was in Doctor Who. So I was able to build a functional deck, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be incredibly chaotic, not in the Averna Chaos Bloom kind of way. It's going to be one of those kind of like my Planeswalker deck. I'm going to have so many triggers and upkeep things to worry about. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to really showcase that there's enough Universes Beyond cards to build an actual decent commander deck that is only Universes Beyond. I didn't think I could do it. I've spent close to 4 or 5 hours this week getting the deck where it needs to be. It needs a little bit more love. I need to figure out where I can fit some fetch lands in. But other than that, it's good to go. I can order it. And outside of some of the dual lands in the mana base, it's way affordable. Universes Beyond in general, not very expensive cards. There's some chase cards out there, the One Ring, right? Most of these cards are like 50 cents each because they printed the hell out of these products.
Uh-huh.
So, Jesse, would you ever build Universes Beyond only commander deck?
I don't think I'd be able to based on the type of stuff I like playing.
Okay.
Because I like aggro decks. I like tokens. I like sacrifice, aristocrat type stuff. 5 color, I have zero interest in that type of stuff. I mean, say that, and then Marvel comes around, and depending, I still think Wolverine's going to be Gruul. I might try to build a Universes Beyond Wolverine deck. But
okay.
Right now, the way the cards are, I don't think I'd be able to, just because the type of player I am.
But you have 1,100 cards that you could choose from.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse's like, I don't.
Not 1,100 good cards.
No, and as I was building my deck, I was like, "Holy crap, this is not working out very well."
Nope.
And I actually thought that I would not get 100 cards on paper or in Moxfield. Thank you, Moxfield. You're awesome.
So outside, you talked about they were worth like 50 cents. Outside, and this is Fallout. Outside of the serialized ones, that highest value according to TCG Player. Not a unique card to Fallout is the Wise Mothman.
Which is going for how much?
This is the showcased Surge Foil.
Oh.
$94.
So that came out of the collector boosters then?
Yep. And then you have a borderless Surge Foil Nuka-Cola vending machine is $65. But then you have like the bobbleheads. Those are like between $350 and $600. So then you have
the
like
serialized ones.
Yep. And then the borderless Surge Foil Soul Ring is $150.
Yep.
There's a Silver Shroud costume Surge Foil, which is $50. That's an uncommon. I have no idea why that's so much. Ravages of War. That's not Fallout. Farewell. That's a reprint. Mandatory. Dogmeat Everloyal Surge Foil is $35.
Right, and these are specialized treatments on the cards that are only in collector boosters, right? So supply is actually quite low on those cards. But if you went to normal treatment cards from,
I'm still trying to find it.
you're into the bulk at that.
I'm going like these Surge Foils are worth quite a bit.
Yeah.
But those are not normal cards. You're not going to be able to find surge foils in normal boosters.
That's right.
Jeez. This is... I'm going to be going pretty far down. Nuka-Cola vending machine borderless. $16.
Borderless.
Yep.
Also
Which
special treatment.
Is special treatment.
For what it's worth, I bet the regular border one is probably $15, $14 as well. The borderless cards.
Nuka-Cola vending machine, $13.49. Yeah. And that, I think, was in a commander deck.
It was. I think it's in Kaiser.
Yeah, I think I have it.
It happens to be sitting right next to me, so I will look. So as we're talking about this, right? So how do we feel about me playing a game of Magic the Gathering and I drop a Nuka-Cola vending machine? Just, do I magically manifest it? Do I create a portal and it just plops out of the air vending Nuka-Colas? Like what does this do? How does this work? Like the skull clamp artwork in this set is cool. It's a skull, or it's a helmet, right? And you guys can't see this, but that's a helmet.
That is the Mechanist's helmet.
Okay, see, this is why we have Jesse around.
Mm-hmm.
It's a helmet. It's not a tattoo. I don't think Nuka-Cola vending machine's in this deck, actually, now that I'm looking about it. Sierra's in it, and I think she's another high value card. But, how are we doing this? How does this work? How do I summon a Nuka-Cola vending machine? It's an artifact, right? So did someone create this vending machine? How am I traveling along the battlefield with this device? Is it in my horse pocket? If you watch Viva La Dirt League, you'd get that reference. How does this help me on the battlefield? A helmet helps. Swords help magically summon creatures as a planeswalker, as a wizard. How the hell do I summon a vending machine? For what it's worth, they're pretty strong. People get killed by vending machines falling on them all the time. So, kudos to them for thinking about that. They didn't build it into the card mechanics,
It's in the science precon.
Okay.
And it is by far the most valuable card in that entire precon.
It's a really good card. I was watching
And the next valuable card in there is Lightning Greaves at $5.
I was watching EDH Hijinks, and I turned it off. It was with Serge Jaeger and Jim LePage, and it was the most recent one. And Serge's whole first 3 or 4 turns were all Universes Beyond cards. And I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? It was a food deck, right? He had the Hobbits were his commanders. Well, wait a minute. Aren't they Universes Beyond also? So it was pretty wild getting into that. I'm like, I've completely lost my immersion with this game. And I love watching EDH Hijinks, Commander at Home, Game Nights, Shuffle Up and Play. I love watching them. But for some reason, I don't know if it was the mood I was in that day or whatever, I completely lost it. And not by upset lost it. I just X'd out, done, moved on, new tab, whatever. It just felt off to me. And it was, ironically enough, it was right after he played that vending machine. I was like, and we're done here. I just don't know what it was. So something about these is just, I have this weird disconnect. So yeah, it's diluting my experience. How does it feel when I'm going to be playing my Spider-Man against your Jace Bellerin? Who wins? Who wins? I don't know.
Hasbro's bottom line. That's who wins.
What about Rainbow Dash against Garruk Wildspeaker? Who wins? Garruk's an excellent hunter.
Mr. Sinister versus Grizzlebrand.
I mean, what are we doing? It feels so weird. I won't say they've lost the plot, but it feels different to me.
Magneto versus Karn.
I don't have my nerdy glasses to push up, but I don't think Karn's metal is like a ferrous metal that Magneto could do anything with.
I was thinking it was.
But anyway,
I would not have nearly as big of a problem if all of the Universes Beyond things were functional reprints. Just reskins of existing cards.
Well, we saw that with the Godzilla set.
Yep.
Which was still weird. We saw it with the Bram Stoker stuff. which were some awesome card treatments for, what was that set? Why am I blanking on the name of that set? Crimson Vow? Was it part of that?
Vow. Yeah. And other ones too, I think.
I mean, those cards were awesome looking.
My Edgar deck, every card I could get that was a Dracula themed one, I got.
Oh, yeah.
But they're functional reprints. They're just reskins, new art of existing cards, not new cards.
Well, look at your Torrens Commander.
My Torrens Commander is from it.
That's right. So now we move on from all of this, these universes beyond, into our own weird little universe of Bloomborough. And what are we doing here? There's this adorable, cutesy little critters planeswalkers that walk to Bloomborough transform into critters. Is there some magic there? I haven't read the story. Interestingly enough, the Magic the Gathering story is now available in podcast form on Spotify, so something to listen to if you have some spare time. I plan on catching up on Bloomborough that way. There's a nice plug for you for free wizards. I don't know what's going on with this set. I don't know where Magic is going, right? So we just went from Wilds of Eldraine, this fairy tale land that we've been to before. So we know it. We understand how the plane works, how it's all fairy tale driven, which is pretty cool. It's very cliche tropey, but it's cool and it works. Back to Ravnica for a murder mystery that doesn't feel like Ravnica at all. Everybody's wearing a detective hat. There's all kinds of weird stuff going on. Where in Ravnica is this happening?
Karlov Manor.
Just at Karlov Manor? That's it? None of the guilds are involved? Oh, wait, there's all kinds of 2-color cards that are along the guild lines. Azorius apparently are detectives. Well, I guess that makes sense. Order. But like, where are we going? Where the hell is the people, are the people in charge? I don't, it felt weird. Now we're in Bloomborough. I'm sorry.
What's in between?
Forgot Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Let me get my spurs on. And we went from detective hats to cowboy hats. Like, I don't know how indigenous people felt about that plane, but holy crap, it felt just as insulting as the old school cowboys and Indians Western movies that our parents grew up watching. It was terrible. I'm sorry if you guys liked it. And this whole podcast feels super negative. So stick around here. But what are we doing? And
then what's coming after Bloomborough?
We're going
Stranger
from
Things.
Cutesy stuff to Stranger Things? Where's this story taking us? Why is this so disjointed?
Because we got away from blocks.
Jumping from plane to plane felt natural.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like Wizards has lost the plot after the Phyrexian Menace was destroyed. I don't know what to do anymore, writers. What are we doing? Who's the villain? What are we doing? Who are we chasing? Is Jace Ashiok? Is Jace not Ashiok? Who is Lute? What is this Fomori doing locked in a vault? What does this have to do with the rest of the multiverse? Where are we going? How did this take us to Bloomborough? Who are we following? Who are we following at this point? Is it still Jace? Is it Ral? Is it Ashiok? Like, they're not on Bloomborough. We've seen all of the mythics and rares at this point.
Well, those are the special treatment ones. Like Jace is a special one.
Jace is in the commander decks.
Jace
the Mind Sculptor is in the commander decks, or a
Liliana too,
or a special guest.
Special guest. That's yeah.
They have nothing to do with the story.
Nope.
Who are we following? I'm completely lost. I truly am. If we are not following planeswalkers around anymore, why are we going to different planes? What is Ral doing on Bloomborough?
Vren is there. Ral is there. Pretty much
who's
who of all these planeswalkers are all there.
I need to listen to this story because right now I probably sound incredibly ignorant to those who are caught up. All right. And to be fair, I need to know. So I will listen. But for someone like Jesse, who cares a lot less about the story than I do these days, and there are people who care even less than Jesse does, what are we doing? How are they following along? I don't even know anymore. Who's the villain?
I felt a lot more connected when there was blocks. Because I knew, the story interweaved between 3 sets. And then once that was done, it's on to a new story to tell. Now it just feels like some TV show on the CW from like the early 2000s where it's a different monster every week.
I think I said it last podcast. We're getting planner whiplash. We're just, we went from Innistrad to, I'm trying to keep up, Ixalan to, God, where do we go after that? Ravnica to Thunder Junction to Bloomborough to Duskmorn, which is a giant mansion plane.
Hey, in the house, just like Murder of Karlov Mansion.
Is there an outside to Duskmorn? Like, how does that plane work? Please explain that to me. Where's Magic the Gathering going? Are we now just printing cards to print cards
100%.
to get the most value out of our sets? Are 100%. We just printing chase cards now? It seems like we are. Does WotC...
If you look at Bloomborough, there's so few cards that people are excited about that are like
add me to that list.
Unique that are unique to Bloomborough that are not reprints.
Yeah, add me to that list.
Like Maha, its Feathers Knight is bonkers awesome in my opinion.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those Griever commander decks that nobody wants to play against after you play against it one time.
Like the special art on that is amazing.
It goes hard. It does. It's great.
But there are I'm struggling to find any other ones that I'm excited for.
I did pre-order some cards. I don't know if you acknowledged my message about what I pre-ordered earlier today. I pre-ordered some cards. That's about
the seasons. The seasons are cool.
They're sorceries.
The Rottenmouth Viper, I absolutely love.
I don't know what the hell deck that I would put that in, so I did not pre-order that.
I might try to put that in my Prosh.
I think Fountain Port's going to be a great card. It's like Trading Post in a land. It just upgrades you every time.
Everything else is a reprint, though.
So many things just feel off. Is actually Mindspring part of the core set and not the commander stuff? Like you posted Mindspring in chat.
Oh yeah, that's part of the core Bloomborough.
That's just crazy to me. Same artwork.
Same artwork.
That doesn't seem right. That's got to be a commander only card. It's got to be. I know the set symbol. I know the set symbol is Bloomborough, but that's got to be one of the commander deck cards.
Let me look because I don't see it in the main set.
And that's the confusing thing, even when we're in spoiler season, right? Why does it have the main set symbol on it then? Is it part of the list? Because don't the list cards have the set symbol of the set it came from? So what are we doing? What are we doing, WotC?
What's main set?
Wow. What is your plan, WotC? Do you have a plan other than squeezing as much money as possible out of your consumers? And admittedly, as I said, 40 minutes ago, I'm buying Final Fantasy. You can't stop me. I can do what I want with my money. And Magic players are answering, replying with their money. They're voting with their money.
Assassin's Creed did terrible.
I don't understand why, as someone who opened up a buttload of that set, I truly don't understand why that set did terrible. From a flavor standpoint, if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, maybe the cards aren't powerful enough. Maybe there's not enough good cards.
Did you see the Karn reprint?
Is it the Deku tree? Like, what is that?
Yeah. It is horrible. Oh my God.
I don't get it. Finally, wrapping up here, how do these cards all affect Commander? Like I said, I was watching that EDH hijinks and I lost the immersion, playing all these Universes Beyond cards. What happened to playing like Lightning Bolt? What happened to playing Magic the Gathering? We need to go back to Dominaria, back in its prime where it was pretty cool stuff. and this is not the boomer in me talking, I have completely lost where we're going. I'm lost. I am Fibblethip. Okay? Bob, Gamer Dad Bob, Fibblethip, whatever you want to call me at this point, I am so lost. Help me out, Wizards. Help me out.
They go where the money is.
They're going where the money is. And that's still Commander. And all of these powerful Universes Beyond cards are still very good in Commander.
They're printing Universes Beyond, and this is just my opinion, to get more people into Magic, because people recognize Universes Beyond. They don't recognize Urza. They don't recognize Liliana or Jace. They recognize Rick. They recognize Wolverine. They recognize Assassin's Creed.
Yep. And that is exactly the conversation I had with this very nice Dutch gentleman while I was in line to talk to Voxy, along those very lines, which is what inspired me to have this entire conversation. He goes, I don't know if I want to play Spider-Man against Jace. He goes, it's weird. It's just weird. I can't describe it other than the way it makes me feel. And this is where we're at. And these cards are very strong. I guarantee you Spider-Man does some bonkers stuff.
Guaranteed. Who's gonna be the Planeswalkers? There won't be any.
Are there any? Are we gonna see like the gods of the Marvel universe? I mean, if like the Living Tribunal exists as a Magic card, it should just say you win the game upon cast. Like or the one above all. Things like are we playing gods in the Marvel universe? Because that's not going to work. It's not going to work.
The Infinity Gauntlet is going to be another One Ring.
Oh, for sure. One of one.
Something bonkers that does some bonkers stuff.
Or we're going to get some weird Yu-Gi-Oh! Exodia shit with that, where you have to have all of the Infinity Gems.
Yeah, and then it like you meld them or something.
You meld them. Yeah, it's going to be like a 6-card meld combo.
Yeah,
that's just going to win you the game. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing, but like, is that your goal when you're playing Commander? Is to do that? Is it? I don't know. As a purveyor of jank, that idea makes me want to try it. But holy crap, what are we playing? Are we playing Marvel: The Gathering at that point?
Basically.
What are we doing with Commander? What are we doing with Commander? Where is it going? How are these sets going? How does it make you guys feel out there? How does the immersion feel? How do you feel when you're playing a game of Commander with all Universes Beyond cards as being the showcase of someone's deck? You know, and come hang out on our stream when I play my Universes Beyond only deck. It's gonna feel weird. It's gonna feel weird. I promise you. Because it doesn't feel like Magic the Gathering. You'll see. And that's all I can leave you with as a tease for that. It just doesn't feel like Magic the Gathering. It's just a bunch of cards I jammed together from Universes Beyond that have synergy, that work in a 5-color deck with a 5-color commander. It's going to be silly. Come hang out in September with us. Hey, if you like this podcast, we do this monthly. We're probably going to do the next one live, the recording on Twitch, I think, if we get enough interest. And yeah, give us a follow, give us a like, reach out to us on Twitter. My handle on Twitter is iPlayIslands. You can look for me as GamerDad Bob in most other places, including Twitch. Jesse Hoagie, you can find on Twitter now. Mm-hmm. You a bit more active there?
Yeah, a little more active. I have a old Twitter account back from my macOS developer days that has a lot of followers on there.
Nice. Very nice. Where else can we find you, Jesse?
I'm on Threads. I'm on Twitter. And that's basically it.
Awesome. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it didn't come off as fully negative boomer Magic the Gathering, but I'm legit concerned about where we're going with things. And people will vote with their money. Unfortunately, I'm still going to buy this stuff. I can't get around it. I can't. The FOMO is real. But it's weird. That's all I can say. So until next time, guys, be awesome out there and sling some spells and play weird cards, I guess. I'll see you next time.